Shalom, Israel. This is your brother Shamwala Kassad, giving all thanks to the Most High Yahweh and his beloved son Yahweh Shai. Today is Friday, July 31st, and what I'm going to do today, right now, I'm reading got this article from the Business Insider, and it lets you know that a lot of people are about to be jacked up out here. It reads, the federal ban on evictions ends today, leaving nearly millions, ne- sorry, leaving nearly 28 million Americans on the verge of losing their homes. Golly, 28 million about to be asked out here. And this article from the 24th of July, so that was like 7 days ago. So let's read what the article says. Signs that read "No job, no rent" hang from the windows of an apartment building during the coronavirus pandemic in Northwest Washington. So I guess that's the tenants that like, yo, they ain't got no job, so you ain't getting no rent. The coronavirus pandemic and ensuing economic shutdown prompt unprecedented job loss and financial hardship starting in March. So yeah, starting from March, all this stuff happening, all the lockdowns, the shutdowns. A lot of people lost their job out of nowhere, and listen, them jobs ain't coming back. I've been prophesied about that from since March. Some of these jobs they're not coming back, and there's been articles and news reports stating as such. It prompted states it prompted states and the federal government to create eviction bans so people don't lose their homes. These bans are now expiring, and there's little political movement to renew them. Yeah, because again, the Senate, the the House of Representatives with Nancy Pelosi and them, they passed the Heroes Act and the the Emergency Housing Act, where they'll temporarily halt off the evictions. They passed that since before Memorial Day, and you got Mitch McConnell, aka Bitch McConnell, aka Bitch Ass McConnell, and the rest of his stooge, the Republican Senate. They dragged their feet for 2 whole months. For 2 whole months. And now that it's crunch time, and now that in several states the eviction ban has been lifted because the time has passed, you know, a lot of folks is about to get put out because the Senate, is what I'm saying. The politicians in Washington, they playing games. So let's read on. The American Apartment Owners Association reported that 60% of landlords say their tenants can't afford rent. That's 60%. Whew. While 80% said they are willing to work with their tenants to come up with a solution to this problem. As the coronavirus infection spreads across the country in February and March, it shuttered businesses and led to massive job loss. And, as unemployment soared, states and federal governments rolled out a medley of eviction moratorium to help keep a roof over their heads. But those bans have already run out in 29 states and are slated to expire in more, Routers reported. Yeah, a lot of those southern states, those state and federal government eviction moratorium, they ran out. So now, the landlords, they, a lot of them will beast mode to file evictions and get you up out of there. And not all states is like, it's not like New York where, it takes forever in a day for the eviction to successfully go through. Some of these other states, especially some in the South, it goes through like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of people out there is about to be really jacked up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm over for New York. Governor Cuomo, he signed it back in March, and that it was supposed to expire in July, no, June 21st, and then he extended it to August 21st. So New York is still going on. The eviction moratorium is still in effect, but for what? For 21 more days. And like after that, if you know the job market don't recover, which it most likely it won't. You know what I'm saying? If the market doesn't recover, which most likely it won't. If um, Mitch the bitch McConnell and the rest of the senators, they don't come to a compromise to help keep money in the American citizens' pockets and keep roofs over their heads. Again, a lot of people is about to be fucked up out here. Mainly single parents. You know what I'm saying? Single homes with children, or even joint homes with children. A lot of folks is about to be jacked up out here. You know what I'm saying? For depending on the state you live in, you thought homelessness was high. You thought the population of shelters is high. It's about to skyrocket if something that doesn't get done within the next coming weeks. It's really about to be bad out here, all across the country, not just the metropolitan cities like New York City and Los Angeles, all across the country. Let's read on. And Friday marks the end of the federal eviction ban, which forbids eviction for renters who live in buildings with U.S. government backed mortgages. So, if, last Friday marks the end of that. So now, the city, the state, or, the government can start filing evictions and give you the boot. Emily Benfer, one of the creators of Princeton University's Eviction Lab, told Reuters that a whopping 28 million Americans could lose their homes in the coming months as these bans expire. For context, about 10 million people were evicted following the 2008 financial crisis. So that's almost triple. You know what I'm saying? So the Princeton University's eviction lab, I guess it did like a theory or something like that. How much they estimate that could lose their homes? They're saying that if something doesn't get done, 28 million could lose their homes, which is almost triple the amount that lost their homes in the 2008 financial crisis. That's really something to consider. The American Apartment Owners Association reported equally dire findings. Around 60% of landlords said that tenants cannot make rent payments, while 80% expressed willingness to work with their tenants to come up with a solution, according to the organization. Which is cool because because at the end of the day, the landlords, he's not there to provide a charity. He's there to rent out his or her property, and get paid off of it. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like they can only help or only look out for so long, or else it's gonna get to the point where they start to lose money too. You know what I'm saying? That's something to consider. We made it pretty clear that our landlords that people aren't just suddenly going to be able to afford to pay back everything they owe on one day. So it doesn't make sense to create a plan that isn't realistic. Alexandra Alvarado, the association's director of marketing and education, told CNBC. The association suggests a number of steps for landlords, including checking in with renters, crafting a payment plan, and putting it down in writing, contacting mortgage lenders for any relief they can offer, and investigating grace periods and deferment on tax and insurance payments. The rent itself has ripple effects for the entire community. Benford, who is also a visiting law professor at Wake Forest University, told CNBC. When the rent isn't paid, the mortgage isn't paid, property taxes go unpaid, employees are unpaid, conditions that need repairs are delayed, and entire communities ends up suffering. From the school system to services that the community provides to residents. So they're saying like, oh, if the rent doesn't get paid, it's going to be a trickle down effect to the point where everybody suffers in some form or fashion. So it's really about to get bad out here. House Democrats have pushed for a 100 billion national rental assistance program. Senator Kamala Harris is also trying to offer relief to renters and homeowners. Her housing plan will forbid evictions and foreclosures for a year and give renters 18 months to return outstanding payments, the Washington Post reported. However, neither idea have gotten very far with Republicans, the Post added. See, that's what I'm saying. Say what you want about the Democrats, they're at least trying to help the people in some form or fashion. And the Republican controlled Senate is pretty much their way or no way. They're being very childish and petty at a time where they really can't afford to. At a time where a lot of people about to be out here fucked up, you know what I'm saying, because they want to play hardball, that they want to drag their feet, literally wait till the last minute and then try to pull rank, to see if they could get their way, hoping that, the House of Representatives was to fall in line and agree, which to me is complete bullshit. But again, this goes to show how many of these politicians do not have your best interests at heart. So this is why, this whole putting your trust in politician, like first of all, the scripture says, put not trust in man. And and say, first be he that put his trust in man and make flesh his arm. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? You can't be putting your trust in these politicians. Because a lot of them, at the end of the day, they out for Dolo. They out for themselves. So let's read on. The NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund is in favor of Harris's proposal, according to Politico. In the midst of this pandemic, as state and local moratoriums end, we are facing the possibility of an eviction catastrophe. See what they're saying? Eviction catastrophe. The group's president, Sherilyn Ifill, told the news outlet, we need immediate action to implement a national moratorium on foreclosures and evictions. No family should be concerned about losing their home during this pandemic. And I absolutely agree. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the article. So yeah, again, like I said, man, something needs to be done. Or else for the month of August, it's about to be a real August and September. It's about to be a real ugly month for many people. It said about 28 million people could lose their homes, end up homeless, be in shelters that's overcrowded. You know what I'm saying? Some of these states have already got 10 cities. Listen, that them 10 cities are about to grow. You know what I'm saying? But again, you got politicians in Washington playing games, being extra catty and extra petty. You know what I'm saying? Dragging their feet, you know, and being all lackadaisical and negotiating something that's going to make sure that the people are taken care of, or at least have some form of safety net. Again, like I said, a lot of single moms out there, a lot of single parents out here is really about to get the short end of the stick. And you want to know who else going to get the short end of the stick? The folks that might have been collecting unemployment, collecting bread, and so on and so forth, and that instead of using the money wisely to pay off the rent or pay off the debts or to to stack food or to stack the money for a rainy day for that when this day will come and it's here now that they will have enough money, resources, provisions put away where they'll be able to make a move. You see what I'm saying? So those who pissed away their money. All right, sorry about that. But like I was saying, um, things about to get ugly out here. But you got the senators, at Washington playing games. You know what I'm saying? Being petty, being childish. You know what I'm saying? Being manipulative. You know, doing all these games. Where people's livelihoods hang in the balance. And the main person at Washington playing games is again Mitch McConnell, aka Bitch McConnell, aka Bitch Ass McConnell. You know. So again, unless something gets done, to put money in the pockets of the American people, to keep a roof over their heads, home, unless something is done to hold them down during this pandemic, you're about to see a massive wave of homelessness that you have never seen before. And with that, I'm gonna say that crime is going to skyrocket as well. We think crime is up now. Hmm? Just wait. You know what I'm saying? Just wait till some of these people become homeless. Crime is going to go through the roof. And before I end, let me say this: I hope that you folks who have been getting the unemployment, the extra $600, the stimulus checks and stuff, I just hope that I know for some of you guys, everything was already spent on with bills and rent and so on and so forth. But to you ones out there that got all that and was able to have a little something extra, I just hope that you guys budget your money well, paid off all your bills, paid your rent, kept the fridge stacked with food, put away a little money for savings or something. Because I'm telling you, in the next month or so, it's about to get really crazy out here. So I really hope that you guys really have it blown through, your stimulus checks and the unemployment, buying a whole bunch of, junk and nonsense. Because if you did, you just might be one of the people in the next month or two that's about to be out here assed out. So that's just it. What do you guys think? It's about to get really ugly out here. One of my favorite sayings is that it's about to get more uglier than a masterpiece sneaker. And that's just how it is. So this is your brother Shamal Kassad signing off, saying Shalom. Watch and pray, y'all.